my gosh, look at her hair. Look at her eyebrows. Put that scarf back on. Okay, that's better. All right, so here we go. Remember 2 videos ago, I was telling you how in order to understand a passage, you got to understand the paragraphs. In order to understand the paragraphs, you got to understand the sentence, and then you got to understand the words. So we started with the words. We looked up words. We discussed them so we could understand them. Then we started with a sentence, and we read each sentence and chose one sentence to illustrate to show comprehension. Now we're going to look at the paragraphs, okay? Now it is possible to go through and draw each sentence of a passage, but you're going to need a lot of paper for that and a lot of time. And I don't have either. So we're going to work the rest of this by paragraphs, okay? So the directions say read the remaining paragraphs in this section. So we've already done one. You're going to read the remaining. After you read each paragraph, use the boxes to draw pictures that show what each paragraph says. Now you see an S on pictures, that means you are able to draw more than one picture in a box. Now you're doing this on your own paper, so you can draw your boxes bigger than this. Okay? All right, make sure you draw detailed pictures because you're going to have to show it in our video class. And draw big. Yes, you can color. Make sure you fill in the heading of the section. Now, when you're done with all the paragraphs, you're going to do the using your picture notes at the bottom. It says summarize the central ideas or themes of this section. So you're going to use your picture notes and just write them out. You're going to tell me what happened in each paragraph as a summary of the whole section. It says, remember to always restate the question in your answer. Build answers based on what you've read. Answer using evidence from the passage. And answer in 3 to 5 sentences. Now, it's actually going to end up being about 6 sentences because you have 5 paragraphs up there to explain. So you're going to use your picture notes and put them into words. And that's going to summarize the central theme or the idea of this selection. Okay? But first, let's look at paragraph 2 and see what you can draw for that. Psych. All right, so again, in paragraph 1, we learned that many of the Asians fought in the armies of the colonial powers that owned them. Doing this against Germany made them deepen their desire for independence. So did the Japanese victories over the European powers. So the victories made them believe that European powers could be defeated. So that gave them some more motivation for independence. Now, at the same time, the Europeans were thinking, should we even own colonies? Now let's look at what was going on in India. In the 1920s, Mohandas Gandhi, a political campaigner who fought for the Indian independence from British rule and for the rights of the Indian poor, led a campaign for independence in India. So this sentence is telling you all about Mohandas Gandhi, who was a political campaigner for Indian independence from Britain, and he was an advocate for the rights of Indian poor. Back to the passage. His example of nonviolent protest is still revered throughout the world today. So he led a bunch of nonviolent protests, and they still look at it throughout the world today. So they still respect it. Back to the passage. 2 groups work in this effort. So 2 groups work for Indian independence and to help the Indian poor. One group is called the Indian National Congress, also called the Congress Party. They said that it represented all of India. Most of its members, however, were Hindu, and we should have looked up Hindu and found out that that's a religion in India. Through Muhammad Ali Jinnah, though Muhammad Ali Jinnah formed the Muslim League in 1906 because he said that the Congress Party did not care for the rights of Indian Muslims. So I got to backtrack since I messed up. The Indian National Congress, or the Congress Party, was ran by Hindus, even though it was said to be for all of India. So Muhammad Ali Jinnah, no, not the boxer, came up with the Muslim League in 1906 because he said that the Congress Party didn't care about the rights of Indian Muslims, which is a different religion from Hindu. Back to the passage. The British encouraged the division of Hindus and Muslims into two opposing groups. So the British encouraged them to divide. Remember, the British owned this area at this time. Back to the passage. By doing so, they helped ensure their own control of the country. So by keeping the Hindus and the Muslims divided, the British ensured that they could keep control of the country. But if they ever found out that if they united together, they probably would outnumber and could get control of their country back. But I don't think they thought about that. So your picture has to embody all the stuff we just read about. So it needs to show Gandhi, and how he had nonviolent protests. It needs to show the two groups, the National Congress or the Congress Party, that was for the Hindus, and it needs to show the Muslim League that was formed in 1906 for the Muslims. It needs to show them fighting. It needs to show the British encouraging it so they can keep control. So if I were a student, I would look up the symbol for the Indian National Congress or the Congress Party, and the symbol for the Muslim League. I would draw those two on one side, each side of the paper, with a verses in the middle. VS, and a few people to represent each side. Then I would draw Muhammad Gandhi in the middle, trying to stop them from fighting. Looking from a far distance, I would draw an English crown and some English person looking greedy as if he's evilly encouraging them to fight, like pumping his fist going, fight, 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 or something like that. That is possible to draw and stick people. Oh, my eyebrows are going together. Oh, sorry. Okay, so in the first box for paragraph 2, you would draw that picture. Now remember, you're drawing on your own paper, so you can use the whole page if you want and just label it paragraph 2. And then on the back, use the whole page and label it paragraph 3. Or you can half your page and use the top part for paragraph 2 and use the bottom part for paragraph 3 and do the same thing on the back, okay? So either way, you need a very detailed picture. Now use my idea for paragraph 2 if you want, but for the rest, you need to come up with your own idea. Don't Google anything. Just read the paragraph sentence by sentence so you can understand it. Then include a picture that has all of the aspects of that paragraph. So you need to do the remaining paragraphs on your own and take your time, okay? You can't go anywhere. One more time for the road. Hey, bye.